I don't know what just happened there, but who's ready for some Christmas? Stand on up, let's sing a little Christmas song together. A holly jolly Christmas, it's the best time of the year. And I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and if you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Ho, ho, the mistletoe, tongue where you can see. Somebody waits for you, 'cause you're awake for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. Take it, color! Come on! Ho, ho, the mistletoe, it's hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, 'cause you're awake for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. Hey, hey!
Hi guys, welcome to Exodus. We are so glad that y'all are here tonight. Tonight's going to be an awesome night filled with games, worship, and we're going to continue our series on It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas.
So, as we head into the night, our first thing is going to be the game. So everyone stand up and find a partner. We are going to be playing a camp classic, head, shoulders, knee, cup. So once you have your partner, one of you come up to the stage and grab a cup. One of your partners come up and grab a cup and then go back. Thank you. Okay, so how this game is going to work, you guys are going to take your cup one for each set of partners. One cup for each set of partners. Okay, how this game is gonna work, you guys are gonna take your cup and put it on the ground like this, and then you can squat down to reach it. Me and Sierra are going to be calling out commands. So we're gonna say head, shoulders, knees, shoulders, head. And when we say cup, you're gonna grab the cup as fast as you can, and the winner will go on to play another winner. Does that make sense? Okay. We are going to go ahead and get started. Make sure to listen carefully. If you grab the cup before I say cup, you are out. Head, shoulders, head, knees, shoulders, head, toes, shoulders, knees, head, shoulders, cup. If you have the cup, find another person who won and partner back up. If you won, find another winner and partner back up. If you need a new cup, you can come up here and grab one. Does everyone have a partner who needs a partner? Does everyone have a partner? Is there anyone else missing a partner? Haley, you get a bye. Okay, ready? Head, shoulders, knees, head, shoulders, knees, shoulders, head, toes, shoulders, knees, head, shoulders, cut. Find a new partner. Are they calling you? Okay, partner up. Make sure your cup is not broken. Does everyone have a partner?
Okay,
Does everyone have a partner?
we good?
Okay, go ahead and get ready. Sierra is going to call out the commands this
Okay.
time.
Knee, shoulders, head, shoulders, knee, head, toes, shoulders, knee, head, shoulders, knees, cup.
Oh my goodness. Okay, find a new partner. If you're still in, come up to this little area in the front and find a partner. Does anyone else need a partner? That's okay. Okay, get ready. I think I might make this one a little more complicated. Head, shoulders, ears, eyes, mouth, head, shoulders, knees, toes, ears, eyes, mouth, head, shoulders, mouth, eyes, ears, toes, knees, head, shoulders, cup. The whole point is to go fast. You gotta be faster. Okay, who is still in? Okay, partner up. Sierra, do you want to call out this one?
Yeah.
Okay, get ready.
Okay, ready?
Okay. No, the point's to go fast. Just be faster.
Okay, knee, shoulders, heads, knee, shoulders, head, knee, toes, eyes, ears, head, shoulders, knees, shoulders, head, 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 cup. Cup, cup, cup.
Okay, this is the last round. Okay, last round. Who will win? Head, shoulders, ears, head, shoulders, toes, knees, head, shoulders, eyes, nose, mouth, ears, head, shoulders, toes, knees, head, cup. Mason is the winner. Both of you can take a prize from our table. Way to go. Okay, we are going to have a short video play before we head into our time of worship.
Everybody stand on up. Let's sing to the Father. Come all you weary, come all you thirsty, come to the well that ever runs dry. Drink of the water, come and thirst no more. Come all you sinners, come find his mercy, come to the table, he will satisfy. Taste of his goodness, find what you're looking for. For God so loved the world that he gave us his one and only Son to save us. Whoever believes in him will live forever. Come on, sing it out. Bring all your failures, bring your addictions, come lay them down at the foot of the cross. Jesus is waiting there with open arms, open arms. For God so loved the world that he gave us his one and only Son to save us. Whoever believes in him will live forever. Power of hell forever defeated. Now it is well. I'm walking in freedom. For God so loved the world. Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him for the wonders of His love. Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him. For the wonders of His love, His amazing love. For God so loved, come on, the world that He gave us His one and only Son to save. For God so loved the world that He gave us His one and only Son to save us. Whoever believes will live forever. The power of hell forever defeated. Now it is well. I'm walking in freedom. For God so loved the world. Bring all your failures, bring your addictions, lay them down at the foot of the cross. Jesus is waiting. God so loved the world. Won't forget the wonder of how you brought deliverance, the exodus of my heart. You found me, you freed me, held back the waters from my beliefs. Oh Yahweh, 'cause you're the God who fights for me, Lord of every victory. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You have torn apart the sea, you have led me through the deep. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh. by day is a sign that you are with me. Fire by night is the guiding light to my feet. You found me, you freed me, held back the waters from my release. Oh Yahweh, 'cause you're the God who fights for me, Lord of every victory. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You have torn apart the sea. You guys can go ahead and have a seat.
Let's get rid of all that. Hey, I don't know what it looked like from up here, but from back there, y'all look dead. Are we just like tired and the semester is draining and oh my gosh. And I don't know what you guys said to mid-school boys last week, but apparently it was terrifying because guys, there's like 8 of you here tonight. And so I don't know what's happening, but we got what in the These are the most dangerous cups to play that game with, by the way. That is one step away from just playing with pieces of glass, I realize. Of all those sharp, did anybody cut themselves? Everybody safe? You're good? All right. You can't sue me. You signed a notary form, my friend. Always one step ahead of you. All right, hey, we're gonna wake up here, all right? We gotta be alive. It's gonna be a little short night. We'll have some gym time later on tonight. Hang out, have some fun. I know we're missing a little bit of our group. If you did not understand any of that dog video, it was saying happy birthday, Demi. So it was the normal videos we play doesn't say the birthday name. It doesn't say Demi. And so we tried to find a different one, and we couldn't hear it back there. So it was a bunch of dogs saying happy birthday, Demi, happy birthday, Demi. Everybody just say happy birthday, Demi, because that was the worst video ever. All right. It's whose? Is Larry here? No. Happy birthday, Larry, if you're watching online. Happy birthday. Tell him. I'm sure he's watching right now, right? Hey, we're gonna have a little bit of fun in here. We are continuing on with our series. We're just doing every Sunday, every Wednesday this month. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. We actually kicked off in November, but last Wednesday was the first, and we kind of started things out. And so we talked about last week this idea of that there was no room for Jesus when he was going, when Mary and Joseph were traveling. We talked about why they were traveling and that there was no space, there was no room for Jesus, there was no preparation. And so we just said, hey, this month we just want to start asking ourselves, like, where does Jesus fit in with us personally? With you personally, with your story, with your own personal life, where does Jesus fit in with you? And we kind of kicked off that thought for Wednesday night. And tonight we're going to be kind of talking about a separate thing. And we're going to be talking about our opinions. And everybody has one in here. So we're going to play a little game here. I'm going to do a little Jay versus Kelly. And you guys are going to help out because we haven't done Jay versus Kelly in a while. So I'm going to have Jay Cram come. You guys can grab a chair and come on up here too if you want. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Kelly and James Cram to the stage. Come on up here. Now, audience, you guys are going to be, let's see, you need to be within the tape line there. So be right in there. And Kelly, kind of put your chair right there. And you can, like, go back against each other so you can't see each other's answers. I'd say Jay came prepared. He's got notes. Did you? All right. So here's what we're going to do, all right? We are going to do some holiday opinions, all right? It's called In My Opinion. Now, you guys can play along with us, all right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask them some of their favorite things about the holidays or worst things about it, hear their opinions, and you guys can decide who is right, all right? Is that fair? Now, we're going to have to change this game if you guys don't play equally with them, all right? What I don't want Jay to say something, and even if you're like, well, I agree with Kelly's, but we're men. We're going to vote for Jay. And ladies, I don't want you just voting for Kelly just because she is a leader for you, all right? I want you to actually vote for who you think is right, who is the same opinion as what you have. Does that make sense? Because if you can't play fair, I have a way to change the game here, okay? So can we be fair, men? Can we agree that if Kelly's opinion matches yours, you can vote for Kelly? What? You know, you're already going to sway the crowd. You can't.
There's only one right opinion, and it's mine.
All right. No, hey, guys. Guys, it's not what we want, all right? It's not what we want yet. So we're going to try this, and then if not, we're going to switch it up because I have some equalizers up here. So, equalizers, they're not paddles. I'm not going to, like, hit anybody with them. We'll try something different here. Now, so our first opinion, Will, what's the first question we have? We already did this part. So, the funniest Christmas movie is. I'm going to let them decide what the funniest Christmas movie is. If you agree with them, you have to cheer for that person regardless of their gender, pronoun, whatever you want to say. I don't care. You just got to vote for who you think you agree with, all right? Now, Jay, the funniest Christmas movie is?
Christmas Vacation.
He says Christmas Vacation. Hey, you didn't even hear what Kelly said yet. Kelly, the funniest Christmas movie is?
Christmas Vacation.
Say, oh, Christmas Vacation. Point goes to Jay. All right. He answered first. You could have changed your answer. I don't know. Is your code only 3 numbers? Is your code only 3 numbers? Is it 111? All right. It's a tough one to crack there. Okay. Kelly, this one will go to you first, all right? If you guys agree on each one, it's not going to be any fair. I assumed you guys would disagree on every one of these. All right, the next one. Anybody have something different than Christmas Vacation? Anybody else? Funniest movie? Elf? Elf? Home Alone? Hilarious. All right. I'd go with Vacation. I'd go with that. Elf, you could make room for Elf. All right. Second one. The worst Christmas movie. The worst Christmas movie. Kelly, what is the worst?
Polar Express.
Polar Express. All right. Kelly said Polar Express. Jay, what do you say?
Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
Oh, Hold on. How many of you actually say The Grinch is the worst Christmas movie? How many of you say Polar Express is the worst Christmas movie? This is already going how I thought it was going to be. It is clearly Polar Express. It is the worst. Guys, Polar Express is awful. I like The Grinch. The Grinch is good. He doesn't. He's tuned it out. Kelly gets the point on that one. She was right. All right. Is the worst? Andrew, I don't even know who you are sometimes. All right. The most annoying Christmas song is, the most annoying Christmas song is, Jay, what are you saying?
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Kelly, what do you say?
The Christmas Shoes.
What's that song? Is that the one where he wants to buy shoes for his mom that's dying? Yikes. Kelly went dark. All right. What do you guys say the worst Christmas song is? What do you think? Huh? All I Want for Christmas Is You? Yeah. Huh? Alvin and the Chipmunks? That is bad. Anybody got something different? Baby, It's Cold Outside. Uh-oh. Don't talk to Austin. Austin will not be happy about that. That's Austin's favorite. Baby, It's Cold Outside. He loves it. Sings it to me. All right, I'm going to agree with the what was it? The Alvin and the Chipmunks. Dude, Dave is just verbally abusive for no reason. Alvin's like, I want to keep singing. He's like, you shut your mouth, Alvin. He's so rude. I don't like that song at all. Can't stand it. I never liked it. Both of you were incorrect. All right. Still tied up 1-1. Allie gets the bonus point. All right. What's the next one? The best Christmas cartoon. Best Christmas. He can't say that. He voted worse. All right. Kelly, what do you think?
The New Grinch.
The what? The new Grinch cartoon? Oh, yeah. Okay.
The classic, How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Okay. So, the correct answer is any Snoopy thing. That's the worst. It's awful. It's not funny. Snoopy's never been funny. You think you like it, but you're like, it's awful. All right, this was the worst. Oh, this is the best Christmas cartoon. Wait, did you switch it? Oh, I thought it was the worst Christmas cartoon. Did you answer the right one? You think the best one is the new Grinch cartoon? All right, so classic Grinch is the best or new Grinch? Who says classic? Who honestly says new? You're wrong. Jay gets the point. All right. He lives it. He doesn't need to watch it. All right. All right. What's the next one? The grossest Christmas candy is. I already know the answer to this. Yeah. The grossest Christmas candy is.
White chocolate pretzels.
White chocolate oh, bro. The white chocolate covered pretzels.
Candy cane.
Candy canes. The answer is the new white, red, and green candy corn colored stuff. They made a Christmas one. That's automatically the worst. Automatically the worst. Do what? Disgusting. All right. What did you say? What was yours? All right, white chocolate covered pretzels or candy cane? Who says candy canes are the grossest? Who honestly votes against white chocolate? Nope. Kelly gets the point on that one. All right, Kelly gets the point. So it's 2-1 because Allie gets. Well, we won't really count candy corn because it's not really candy. It's just garbage filler. All right, next one. The best part about the movie? Just overall, Christmas, like your vacation during Christmas time. Best part about Christmas vacation is, Kelly, go ahead.
Sleeping in.
Sleeping in. You said sleeping in? Squirrel hunting. They both said sleeping in. How many of you guys said sleeping in? That's not a lot. Somebody got something better? What's the best part about Christmas vacation? Huh? The vibe? How many of you say the vibe? All right, Ethan gets the point. Good job, Ethan. All right. No school? How many of you say no school? Ah, Race stole your point. Ethan, you're back off the board. All right, Race gets the point. They both said time. Or sleeping in. Yeah, both said sleeping in. No, because Race's was better, so he gets the points. All right, 2-2 to 1-1. Race could end up winning this whole thing. Who knows? Only 2 people clapped for squirrel hunting. All right. All right, what's the next one, Will? What do we got? We don't do a church Christmas play, so go to the next one. We should. No, go to the next one. The lamest Christmas tradition is. The lamest Christmas tradition. Jay, what's the lamest?
Matching pajamas.
He says matching. Somebody's offended. Matching pajamas.
Flannel. You're gonna get flannel this year. The lamest, Elf on the Shelf.
Jay just changed his answer. You automatically get the point. Good job, Kelly. Good job. Yeah. Someday you all are going to become parents. I'm just going to give you some advice. When that day comes, you're going to think, this is going to be so much fun. We're going to put this Elf on the Shelf. Don't. Because after a while, you're going to be like, is there no one here I can ruin anything, right? You're gonna, and just throw it somewhere and be like, no, it's hidden. Don't start that tradition, guys. You be the generation, make that change. All right. It is the worst, Kelly. You get a point. Let's do two more. What's the next one? Do you want to do best Christmas tradition or you want to switch? I don't like this one. That one's no fun. Go to the next one. Will? The best, oh, here we go. Best Christmas food. Best Christmas food is, Jay?
Prime rib.
Prime rib.
Mashed potatoes.
Okay, how many of you would rather have prime rib or just mashed potatoes? You lose. We're going prime rib. Squirrels. Squirrel beat. All right. What do we got? It's tie game now, right? It's 3-3 to 1-1. All right, one more, Will. What do we got? Tiebreaker. The one gift Christmas, the one Christmas gift I don't want. Oh, this is a tough one. The one Christmas gift you do not want is...
Start with him.
Is him?
Start with
Oh, I don't want that guy. Jay, what is the one Christmas gift you don't want would be?
Socks.
Socks! He says socks.
gym membership.
A gym? Did he buy you one time? That's not a gift. Is that really what you wrote? So you want any present he gives you? No matter how little he spends? Okay.
I don't want a gummy bear sculpture this year.
Get her a gummy bear. That's not a good one. We need to end with a better one.
Okay, so one year I got a styrofoam. What? Okay, fine. The styrofoam ball that my husband bought toothpicks and laid and watched television and stabbed individual gummy bears and then stabbed them into a styrofoam ball, and he gave me that as a present. It was just a styrofoam ball stabbed with gummy bears.
Do you like gummy bears? Well, can't you take the gummy bear off the toothpick? Why? I don't know. I was going to stick up for you, but I don't know where that one's going. So, not, Jay, I'm not. Let's do one more because I really got to get on. This does have something what we're talking about here, so I'll get to it. No, you both lost. Well, no, go to the next one. Give me one different one. Give me one different one, Will. Last one. Give me one with a good opinion. Oh, here we go. The best part about Christmas is, Kelly.
Jesus.
She says Jesus.
Such a church answer. The presents.
Jay says the president. Presents? Presents. So, how many of you say Jesus? Or you think presents is the best thing? You and Macias. Kelly wins, ladies and gentlemen. Kelly wins. All right. I want to hear more about this unsanitary gummy bear ball that Jay got you later. Oh, yeah, but the real winner is Allie, Fuzzy Socks. Good job, Allie. All right. And Race, you get a pile of chocolate. That was close. That was really close. Sorry. I meant to go higher with that. If there's one thing we always think Race needs more of, it's sugar. All right. Hey, I want to, Race, don't eat that late. Open that up later, all right? Open it up later. Don't open it up now. Marcus, give it to Race. Let's not let it be a distraction. All right. I want us to, just think about this whole idea of Christmas for a little bit, because it's very clear that we all have very strong opinions on what's good, what we like, what we don't like, what our favorite songs are, what we don't. Some of y'all, is anybody here not even like Christmas music? Like you just don't even, see? Oh my gosh, some of you in here. Oh, I tell you what. So, it is clearly lots of opinions when it comes to holidays. And so what I want us to think about tonight is this idea of we can talk about like making room for Jesus, but if we're going to make room for Jesus, what you really need to start thinking about is, what is my actual opinion about all of this? When I think about the birth of Christ, when I think about Jesus, everybody in here has an opinion when it comes to Christmas time, when it comes to where we place Jesus as our priority, what we even think about this. And for, a lot of you guys come from different walks of life. You come from different thoughts, different beliefs. Some of you may be all in on this. Some of you, this may be all kind of brand new to you, and you don't think a lot about it at all. It's just kind of something you do. And so we want to look at, tonight, we're going to look at 3 different groups of people here that are all a part of the Christmas story, and kind of see how these 3 people, these 3 different groups of people had different opinions, different thoughts, different responses to Jesus and to the birth of Christ. And so tonight I want to walk through that and kind of think about, what is your opinion when it comes to Jesus? Because a lot of times, kind of like what Jay said, like, well, that's the church answer. Of course, she says Jesus. I want presents. And I know what Jay was saying. Obviously, Jay's not like that awful of a person. Macias, I know you believe in Jesus, and it's not just about presents, but he was like trying to not just give the clear answer here. But our opinions and our thoughts about it do matter, and I want to look at this as we kind of look at these main characters, these main people that all were a part of the birth of Jesus, of the story that was taking place. And so last week we started looking through Luke chapter 2, and we kind of got through the whole part where it says, while they were there, Mary and Joseph traveled. They got to the place. They had Jesus. She gave birth to her firstborn son, wrapped him in swaddling clothes, laid him in a manger. There's no room for him at the inn. So we talked about making room for him. Now we got to start thinking about what were other people's opinions surrounding this time. And so one of the things we're going to start looking at here tonight is we're going to look at King Herod. And we're going to look at this opinion that King Herod had about the birth of Jesus. And his opinion was that Jesus was somebody to be avoided. This was something that was a threat. Jesus was to be avoided at all costs. And so you had this King Herod who was appointed over Israel, over this land by the Roman Empire. And if you are king over an empire, over an area, so you got Rome, right? This Roman Empire, just do a little history lesson here. And then over all these different areas, they would appoint kings to rule over their area. And they reported back to the emperor. And so you had King Herod who ruled over Jerusalem. Now, if you're king, and you get rumor that other people are saying, we heard that there was a king being born in Bethlehem, what is your response going to be if you are the king? Yeah. Is spot on and kind of malicious that was, Race. You were exactly right. If you're king, you don't want anybody to threaten your spot. You don't want anybody else going around saying that you are going to be king. So here's what happens. Here's what happens. In Matthew chapter 2, we have these guys that we don't hear a lot about. In fact, we barely hear about them at all. And we have the wise men, all right? These wise men that traveled from a different area and we really don't know a lot about why or what they were doing. From what they believe is they were kind of following they did a lot of astronomy, followed these stars, and somehow they heard that there was going to be this king born in this land. And they wanted to travel to see what was all going on here. And so they were called wise men because of how they studied. They would have been very high up in their culture. And they were traveling from the east. And so these guys, which we don't know a lot about, they kind of pop in the Bible and out of the Bible. But it says while they were traveling, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem, during the time of King Herod, these magi, these wise men, came from the east to Jerusalem. And so these guys come. Now, I always remind you guys this all the time. We were just joking about this earlier. The wise men in your nativity scene were not there at the birth of Jesus. They were not there. We just kind of throw them all in there, and I joke every year, and I'll say it every year too. If you have how many of you guys have a nativity scene at home? How many of you have those 3 wise men there? Anybody? Yeah. Go put them all the way somewhere else. Go put them across the room. They're not there yet. Make that nativity scene accurate, all right? And we don't even know how many of them there were. We don't know if there was 3 of them. They gave 3 gifts, but there could have been 5. There could have been 10. We don't know. And so these guys came, and they go to King Herod. And that's how we know. We don't know a lot about these guys, but we know they were pretty important because they got a place with the king. And so they come and they speak to the king, and he's like, what are you doing here? Like, why did you travel all this way? You're from the east. Why are you here? And they go to the king, and they say, where is the one who has been born the king of the Jews? So something brought them here. Some sort of, we don't know. We don't know if the angel talked to them, if it was prophecy or what. They just come to the king and say, we heard that there was going to be this birth of this king of the Jews. We saw his star, and we have come to follow. We followed it all the way here. We want to know more about it. They've come to worship him. So when King Herod heard this, it says he was disturbed. He was angry. He was mad. He was disturbed about this, and all Jerusalem with him. And he had called together all the people's chief priests together of the law, the teachers of the law, and he asked them, where was this Messiah to be born? So he goes back and says, hey, these guys came and said there was going to be born a king of the Jews. Now, King Herod, being over Jerusalem, knew all these Old Testament prophecies that pointed to a Messiah, a savior of the Jewish people. They believed that a Messiah would be born and overthrow these kingdoms and help the people rule over it all. And there was going to be this great empire. They didn't kind of have in mind that Jesus was looking at more than just like this small reign that would actually change the world. But that's what they were looking for. And so King Herod knew this. And he's like, hey, this Messiah that you guys worship, this Messiah that's in your Old Testament prophecy, where did it say he was going to be born? And so they come back and they say, well, the Messiah in Bethlehem in Judea, they replied. This is what the prophecy is written. But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people. And so they respond and say, actually, this Messiah is going to be born in Bethlehem, exactly the area that the Magi are going to. So King Herod's thinking, okay, the prophecy points to this birth of a Messiah here. These guys are coming and saying that there's born a king. He's threatened. He wants to figure out what's going on here. And so he tricks them, and he says, hey, I want you to go find where this baby's born and then come back and tell me so that I can come worship him. But it's not what he was going to do. He had his power threatened. He wanted to cut it off at all costs. And so eventually, when we'll get to the wise men here in a second, the wise men figure out, like, hey, Herod does not want to worship this child. They find where Jesus was. They find him laying in a manger, exactly how they were told, and they worship him. They give him these gifts, and then they realize Herod's going to kill this baby. And so they tell Joseph and Mary, you need to flee, you need to get out of here, and then they go back a different way. And so once Herod realizes that these guys tricked him and they're not coming back, it says Herod, when he saw he had been tricked by the wise men, he became furious. And he sent, because he doesn't know what baby it is now. So he goes and says, kill every male that is born in Bethlehem. Kill every baby that's been born recently. Kill every baby boy that has just been born. He says actually who was 2 years or younger. Every male that was born in Bethlehem, 2 years and younger, was murdered by King Herod. And that is all like, that happened. That's not just some little blurb in our Bible. Like, that took place under King Herod's rule. And so all of these male children were murdered because of King Herod. Because King Herod knew, if this is who it says he was, if this Jesus is real, he will change everything that I have. He will change what I have to do, and he will threaten my livelihood. It'll change too much. And so sometimes our opinion of Jesus can be, this is something to be avoided. Because I know how I want to live, and I know what I want to do, and if I follow after Jesus, that's going to change things. And so we kind of say, well, that's Jesus over there, but I'm not going to have anything to do with it. Because if I do, it'll change how I live. It'll change my acts, how I behave. And so we kind of avoid Jesus altogether. We acknowledge that it's there, and then we avoid it. Well, if I really accept who Jesus is, that's going to change my life. That's going to change like how I date. That's going to change the things I see and watch or look at. That's going to change my life too much. And so I'm going to avoid it as much at all costs as I can. And so while we are not like sending people to death or murdering or going to that far, that extent, it still is this idea of, if we're honest, how often do we sit there and go, I'm just going to avoid putting Jesus in my life right now because I don't want it to change what I'm doing. Maybe you've been around people. Maybe you've been on that end where you started getting into like your walk with Christ was growing and your friends saw that and all of a sudden they felt threatened by it. And they're like, well, we don't want to change what we're doing. So you kind of stopped getting invited to certain things. You kind of started getting left out of the group because you're like, well, you're getting a little too Jesus-y. See, if we're honest, this happens all the time still with us. When people start trying to find ways to avoid allowing Jesus into their life because they feel threatened by it. It will change too much. And so that might be your opinion, if you're really honest with yourself, is, yeah, I know Jesus is there, but I'm not going to have anything to do with it because it would change my life too much, and I don't want anything to do with that. And so we avoid Jesus at that cost. Sometimes we can be like the wise men, all right? And this is kind of our second opinion. Our second opinion is Jesus is worth kind of a quick, visit, kind of a quick, how do you do? Our opinion is Jesus is worth checking out once and then kind of just being gone. And this is where I think a lot of us can be a lot of times, even as believers. See, when these wise men came up, it said after they had heard the king, they went on their way. The star they had seen when it rose ahead of them until it stopped over the place where the child was. Now, these guys were following, and if you know anything about old time sailors and stuff, they would follow stars. They would guide them to the direction they needed to go to. And so they're following the star to where it was, and they knew where it gets over this place, that's the area we need to go to. And so we're going to follow where that is, and we're going to stay there, and we're going to look for this child that's been born. And so they go, and they find where Jesus was. It says, when they saw the star, they were overjoyed. And on coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary, and they bowed down and worshiped him. Now, at this point, Jesus is no longer in a manger. He's in a home. And so they see where Jesus is at. He's in this house now. And they bowed and they worshiped him. They opened their treasures, presented with him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh, which were all gifts you would give to royalty. Having been warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, they returned back to their country by a different way. And so I want us to kind of think about what happened here with these guys, because a lot of times this can kind of be where we tend to dwell in as Christians a lot of times. It is this idea that Jesus is worth visiting. He is worth kind of checking out. We can kind of come and say, hey, oh, look, there's a baby, there's Jesus. It's Christmas time. We'll sing a few songs, maybe pray, and then kind of skirt out. Let's focus on other things now. Let's kind of get back to like, where's my gifts? What else is going on? And all of these other things. And not even just with Christmas time. We can kind of treat Jesus in this manner of, oh man, yeah, I'm all about Jesus. And it's great because I go to church once a week. And I'll show up and I'll do my thing there, right? And then I'll go back to what I was doing. I'll go back to my own place. I know, I'm really glad that's not real glass. And so let's be honest, at some point in your life, you've probably found that's your relationship with Jesus. I go from where I normally am, I'll worship Jesus, and then it says, and then they went back to their own land. I'll do this, and now I'll go back to being me outside of church. And so a lot of times our opinion of Jesus is he's worth the visit. Oh man, it's worth going to church. I love Jesus. It's worth clapping and singing over, and I kind of want to do my life differently, but I'm just going to kind of keep that separate over here. I'll go visit, hi Jesus, and then I'll leave, and then I'll take off. And we kind of treat Jesus like a baby. For some of you, if you've ever been around a newborn baby, how many of you are super uncomfortable holding a newborn baby? You're just like, now what? You know, and you're afraid its head's going to fall off because it has no neck muscles, and you're like, they just plop and roll around and everything. But like, hold the baby. Like, I'm good. Anybody like just kind of back off when they try to hold like a newborn baby's there? Thank you, Jack, for being honest. Why, Jack? What is it about the newborn baby that freaks you out? Frail. You're just like, I'll just look at it. And then you want to like, yeah, it's just like, there it is, okay, saw the baby, and then I left, right? So you might be that same way, where you've gone and visited somebody who has a child or baby, and you're like, oh, look at it, okay, and then you kind of leave it. And we kind of treat Jesus the same way they treated baby Jesus. This idea of, yes, you are worth it. And it says they worshiped him, right? It says they believed this who it was. So it's not like they were unbelieving in it. They believed that it was Jesus. They went, they gave their gifts, they did their thing, and then they went the other way. Now, you don't have to raise your hand, but I want you to think, does that sound familiar at all to sometimes, if we're honest, our opinion or our response to Jesus a lot of times? That he is worth going somewhere, worshiping for a little bit, and then going back to our normal life. I think if we're all honest, I mean, I'll be honest, like, it happens to me all the time. It's a very easy way to treat Jesus, right? To go and be like, yep, there he is. Oh, man, it's so good to see you. Clap, sing, and then walk away. And kind of, I'll come back again, and we'll just do these little visits with Jesus. And so our opinion can be, and our response to Jesus can be, oh, he's definitely worth the visit, but that's about it. That's about as far as I go. Now, I want to look at the shepherds here real quick, and this is going to be our last one. Maybe your response to Jesus is how the shepherds were. So there were shepherds out in this field, and they were actually the first one angels appeared to and told there's this birth of Jesus, and the Messiah is coming. There was all this stuff, and they were freaking out, and the angels sang the song, and then all these angels were like, the Messiah is born, you got to go see it. And then the shepherds are like, let's go find out what these angels were talking about. And there's lots of symbolism in that, the fact that they were shepherds, and Jesus is compared to a shepherd, and they were handling over sheep, and Jesus compares believers as sheep. So there's a reason, and we're not going to go into it all there, that the shepherds were the first ones that were told about Jesus. So the shepherds go, and so it says, when the angels had left them and gone into heaven, in Luke chapter 2, the shepherds said to one another, let's go to Bethlehem and see this thing that's happened, which the Lord has told us about. So they hurried off. They ran off. They found Mary and Joseph, and the baby was lying in the manger. When they had seen him, now here's the cool thing. I want us to think about this. When they had seen him, they went and spread the word concerning what they'd been told about this child. So now they go, they see Jesus, they see that it was true, and then they go and start telling other people about who Jesus is, about this Messiah, about this birth of this new king that was going to rule, about this Jesus that was going to change everything. And so after they had done that, it said all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherd said to him. And then it says in verse 20, then the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things they'd heard and seen, which is just what they had been told. And so here's where our opinion, our response to Jesus can be that he changes lives. And this is for people that know, I know Christ has changed my life. I know that this is a Jesus worth my worship. This is a Jesus worth a life change. These believers, these shepherds go and they had heard about Jesus. They go check it out. They see that this happened. They see the truth in it. They go share it with other people. Other people become astonished by it. They come check it out. And then the shepherds come back and they worship Jesus again. These shepherds' lives were changed. And so for many of us, maybe that's been you. Your response to Jesus when you say, hey, who is Jesus to you? You would say, he changed my life. He's changed who I am. He was worth sharing about. He's worth telling other people about. He is worth worshiping. And so as we kind of look at the story of Christ, when you walk past those nativity scenes, whether they're in your home, whether it's an inflatable in your front yard, whatever it is, I want you to think about these different players that had a story in all of this. And I want you to think about over the next few days, Christmas is coming quick. I want you to really think about, what is my honest opinion of Jesus? What is my honest response to who Jesus is? Do I find him threatening to living a different type of life? Is it something that I just kind of go and worship every now and then cut out so I can keep living a different life? Or is it something that's actually changed my life? Is it something that it's worth sharing? It's worth telling other people about. It's worth worshiping. And tonight's kind of just an easy way for you guys. I mean, I can't answer that for you. I just wanted something for you guys to really think about over these next few weeks is, what is my actual response when it comes to the birth of Christ? When it comes to all of this stuff, what is my actual opinion of Jesus? Do I avoid him? Do I just kind of step in and out? Or is it something that's changed my life? And so we're just going to end with a little song, this little Christmas worship to kind of end. And without any distraction, we'll just be done after this. So, in fact, when you're done, you can stack your chairs when you leave here tonight. That would be great. But all I want you guys to do right now is really be honest. Don't start talking to anybody else yet. We're wrapping up. So don't talk to anybody. No one should be saying anything to anybody. Race, right here. Right here. Right here. Because this is a question worth asking yourself. If you're honest with yourself, what is your true opinion of who Jesus is? Avoiding, checking in and out, or did he change lives? What is your real opinion of it? Because your opinion matters. What you do with that matters. And how can you use these next few weeks to kind of focus and maybe get it right? So that's how we're going to kind of end. I'm going to pray. Let's just have a little time of song. Think about that question as you're singing. Maybe just praying to God. Say, God, I've been kind of hopping in and out, but you are worthy of my praise. Or maybe you've just been avoiding Jesus for a long time because you're like, I'm afraid of what it'll change. Just use that time. Use it to pray. Use it to sing. Whatever it is to have some sort of response to God. God, I thank you for this evening, God. I thank you just for having fun, just laughing, sharing our own opinions about Christmas, but really coming down to that thought of, how do we treat all of this? What do we do with all this? And so I pray that our students are honest with themselves tonight, honest in their own hearts, and if their answer isn't what they want it to be, I pray that they can use that time right now to spend just giving it over to you and saying, this is what I want my heart to be, God. Amen.
Go ahead and stand on up with us. Sing with me. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Have a good week, guys. If you can stack your chairs to the back of the room, we'd appreciate it. See you guys on Sunday.